Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.
All right. Nope, that ain't. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, we're good.
Is this thing on? Hello.
Yeah, brief malfunction, no problem. We've got it. How's everybody doing tonight? And welcome to another episode of SportsBites. We are so glad to have you here tonight. On the microphones, we've got my beautiful wife, Rachel.
Hello. Good to see everybody again. Hello.
And once again, we've got Dr. Mike Oxlong on the mic.
What's up, man? Thank you.
We're doing a little dance.
Is it that smooth jazz?
Huh?
Smooth
I don't know what you're talking about, man. So glad everybody's here tonight. So glad to have y'all tuning in. As we always say, as we hit on at the beginning of these episodes, thank you so much for all the likes, all the subscribers, all the views. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are what we do this for, and we can't thank you enough. If you haven't already and you're new to this, or if you just have been watching and you haven't done it so far, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump on board, get your ticket on the train.
Almost 110, 109?
111,
Oh,
I think.
111.
All right, let's go.
Right around one there.
111.
So.
111 as of last checking.
Thank you all.
So, yeah, tonight's a big night because, we've done a lot of snacks on here. We've done some really wild snacks, some normal snacks, some obscure snacks.
Yeah.
We've kind of hit on angles of every kind of snack. We've hit on snacks from all over the world, really.
International.
And one thing that we really love to do here on Sports Bites is we really love when it's something local. And tonight we have something really special. We have a local brand here in Roanoke that goes by the name of Big Daddy's Munchies. We reached out to Big Daddy's Munchies, and Rob, I believe.
Yes.
Rob at Big Daddy's Munchies, awesome dude. We did a little communicating back and forth. Our director of snack content got in touch with him.
Thank you, sir, for that.
You're welcome.
And Rob was really excited to have some of our stuff on the show. As excited as we were, because we've tried some of his stuff before, and we were like, dude, this is phenomenal.
So yeah, I was able to have somebody at the fantasy football party a couple weeks ago, and I was literally like, these are so good. I was like, I got to reach out to the guy to see if, we can work, a little something out. And Rob was so gracious and so kind.
Thank you.
He gave me a little bag of snacks for us to try tonight. And he gave me so many, it would take up like 30 minutes of the podcast if I wanted to really eat and review them all. You had to probably watch me eat them for the last 20 minutes just munching on it.
It's not that kind of show.
I picked out 5 of my favorites out of this bag. There were more in there, but I picked out like my top 5.
Okay.
So I got them right here.
All right, let's crack into it.
All right.
I'm excited because, again, local businesses, we love supporting local business on the podcast. And a local business that's doing their own freeze-dried candy, that could not be more up my alley.
Right, and so there's a lot of people in the market of freeze-dried candy, and I've had some other brands.
Yes. We've even done some.
Yeah, and so when I say I was blown away, I was like, just the consistency and the way it tastes is just so good. So I've got a few things. I'm going to start out right here. These are called Cosmic Puffs. They look like nerd clusters, like the nerds taffy rope stuff.
Yeah,
that's
I like those.
Blown up. So
it's like
I'll go first.
Different textures.
I don't know if you can hear that crunch, but
so I've had these from a different company before, and oh wow, and these are way more blown up. These are the other company was like they look like crunch berries. Almost.
Oh yeah,
these are clusters like these. What do we got here? What are they called again?
Cosmic
Puffs. Oh yeah, that's.
And I mean, you see the date it was made.
Dude.
It lists the allergens on there, so lots of good things.
Thank you.
Reusable plastic containers.
Okay.
I love a good container.
Yeah. Oh my God. I got a real nerdy one right here. That's going down.
So airy.
Yeah, they're almost
it's like guilt-free.
Wraps.
It's like it's like guilt-free. I could eat that whole thing and be like, I really didn't have that much.
By weight, it was only like 2 ounces, right?
Really good.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
All this stuff in the bottom too, all the dust. Like you could put it on ice cream.
Save that for me.
You want the dust?
Yeah, please.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do with it.
I'm I'm gonna
Make
put
a
it
little
on.
tincture.
I'm gonna put it on ice cream, like you said.
I know how Dr. Mike rolls.
All right, so
Those were
that's the first
really
one.
good.
We're gonna keep it in the fruity vein. This is like it looks like a standard Skittle. He calls them rainbow crunchies.
Okay.
Yep.
Like, so when you go to like a burger restaurant or especially like a barbecue restaurant, you get the brisket because it's like
it's the standard.
It's the staple, right?
Yeah.
It's the benchmark. If you can do the staple right, everything else, it gives you high expectations for the rest of it. So I already had the Cosmic Puffs. Very good. So I'm looking forward to trying these Rainbow Crunchies.
Rainbow Crunchies.
They're just regular Skittles. What's your favorite flavor of Skittle?
Green. I love the lime.
I'm glad they brought it back. I hated it when it was apple.
green apple
that was the
terrible.
worst thing ever. Thank you, Skittles, for bringing
I'm a grape
back
guy.
lime.
You're a grape guy?
Yes.
Great. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I got a grape one right
I
here.
like lemon. I
wow.
usually choose
I couldn't have gotten
lemon.
a better pull than that.
Mm.
All right, let's see what we got
Okay.
now. So I've tried some freeze-dried Skittles from multiple different companies. Now I'm going to say my bar is pretty high on this. I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. I've had some really good ones.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Yes,
They're
I'll
really
say very-
consistent.
yeah,
like
very
the
uniform. I
the
like
puff is very uniform.
They haven't lost any flavor. No flavor at all. They've lost no flavor.
Yeah, they just melt, and then that crunchy shell
I'm fairly
is
new
still
to the
there.
freeze-dried candy game, but this is going to be hard to top.
It's like everything you love about Skittles, but better.
Bro,
Crunchier.
I want to say something, but I'm going to wait till the end of the episode.
These might be borderline illegal, dude. These are so good. All right.
Randy has hammered out a few bags of
So
these
the
big
Briscoes,
daddies.
the benchmark is set. Those are delicious.
They're so dangerous because you can go through that and eat the whole thing and not realize that you've eaten the whole thing.
Okay. Are you all ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
What we
I'm
got?
ready. Bring it
What we
on.
got?
So this is the fruity vein. We'll be done with this one. These are sour pink crunchies. Now, I don't know like what candy they're made out of. Maybe lemon heads or something like that, but
Ooh, do they have pink lemonade? That might be a good
I don't know.
I'm going to Google it.
There you are, sir.
Let's see what we got.
Google
Sour
it.
pink crunchies. All right, let's see what we got.
Oh,
Oh, yeah? And I like
those
sour.
are tart. Those are tart, but they get sweet right away. It's like an instant.
Oh.
It's like an instant zing of sour. It's like all the sour comes up to the top.
That is pink lemonade. Oh my gosh.
That's a different sour.
But the strawberry comes right after it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh my goodness.
those are tart. I love sour candy.
I do too, but that was like,
That's good. I got a little eye twitch.
it's
It's
more
always
like
good
a
time.
warhead sour. As
But
opposed
instant.
to-
It's
yeah.
instant.
Oh, definitely instant. And it goes away pretty quickly.
Mhm.
But
Oh man.
it's just a
Those are
nice
good.
little intense for just a whoop.
Yeah. See, my thing is a lot of sour candies aren't sour enough for me. I've had the
True.
world's most sour candy
Top-
before, and it's
Toxic waste or something like that.
no.
Yeah,
So
he
they have these sour candy. They make them in the UK. You can't even make them here. There's something that
They're
they're so
It
sour
was some
they're
kind of
illegal.
acid
They
that was
really
in it,
are, like
like
you-
baking soda.
Yeah, it was something that they make them with. I can't remember what it was. Like malic acid.
Malic acid. Yeah.
They
some
put
kind of
malic acid on it instead of just this. Dude, they're the most sour thing I've ever had. I love some sour stuff. Those are delicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, keep it going,
What
Brett.
do we got?
All right.
So now, no fruity.
No fruity. These are both
I
going
don't
to be
think I've
sweet
ever
now.
had.
He gave me this is interesting. Peanut brittle. He gave me two different kinds. So you give me like regular OG peanut brittle,
Okay.
staple. But he also gave me Texas peanut brittle. I'm like, okay, well, what is that? So I went to his
Everything's bigger
website.
in Texas?
No, they're-
Same size?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I went to his website, and that's, for those of you wondering, it's BigDaddyMunchies.com. I went to his website, and I was like, well, what is this? So apparently, these are made with Dr. Pepper with a hint of chili on the back end.
Texas does love their Dr. Pepper.
They do. So
They
it's
do.
like, it's going to be a little sweet, and it's going to be
They
a
don't
little
have a sign, though.
spicy. So we'll save those for last. We'll do the OG peanut brittle
Let's
right
see it.
here.
I'm not sure if I've ever had a freeze-dried candy that wasn't fruity.
You know what? I don't
Never.
think I have either. It's always been like Skittles or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, something.
this will be interesting.
lemon heads.
Let's wait. Let's try this together. There you go. I'll wait. Because I feel like this is going to be really good. And we should all kind of just
experience it
participate
together.
I grabbed
a
two
nice thing.
pieces because I knew it's going to be good.
Well, I want more than just that baby one. So
Well, I'm
give me
trying.
two.
Don't be wasting it,
I'm
Randy.
tearing it up.
I caught it.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So this is regular Big Daddy Munchies peanut butter. Are you
All right.
ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Whoa.
Dude. You know what that reminds me of? The inside.
Almond Roca.
It's like the inside of a Butterfinger, but it's exactly what that. But I get the roasty
Oh, yeah.
flavor
you can
of
see
the
roast
peanut.
of the peanuts. There's like actual bits, of peanuts from the peanut
Yeah, I
brittle,
can see
but
the
then
peanut in there. It's
the,
like a.
the praline part,
Oh my God.
essentially. Yeah, it's like
Those are.
That's phenomenal.
Mm.
that's it.
Oh man.
Man,
Okay.
we should dip these in chocolate. Do you have these dipped in chocolate, Big Daddy? Let us know. Reach out. Let us know.
Big Daddy, please dip these in chocolate.
Please dip these in chocolate.
Okay. Sorry. Randy, what do you think?
These are pretty good.
I thought the Skittles have some competition
Oh,
because that was
It's almost like-
really good.
Sponge candy a little bit.
like that honeycomb
That's
type
what
candy. My
sponge
wife
candy,
loves
yeah.
those. They call it a crunchy bar over in the UK. It's like that honeycomb.
Mhm.
It's like puffed up. So yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
But like and a Butterfinger mixed together. It's just so light.
Mm.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's the last one. I hope you're not peanut brittled out. This is Texas peanut brittle, and I'm gonna grab this big honking piece right
Oh
on
my
top.
God.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
I have no idea what just happened there. Hold on one second.
Did we lose you?
Yeah.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Wow.
You're back? Are you back? With
Bluetooth connected.
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Hold on one second.
Interesting.
It's always, hey, it's always crazy here.
Showbiz.
Okay. Everything going haywire there for a second. That's all right, though.
All right.
Like Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connect. I'm like, hell, I didn't even know Bluetooth was on.
The machines are taking over. It's coming.
John Connor tried to tell us.
Listen.
All right. Are you ready, Rachel?
I'm not sure, but I don't really like spicy stuff.
All right. Well,
I guess we'll see it and
All right,
try
cheers.
it. Cheers.
Very fluffy.
Oh.
Very fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
you think that Dr. Pepper makes it lighter? The carbonation.
The carbonation.
Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm. And then the heat.
Ooh.
It's like a glow.
Yes.
Like a 3 out of 10. It's like a little whisper on your neck.
It is.
It's like
is.
hey, I'm here.
Hey.
Just let you know I'm right.
It's not like a slap in the face, but it's definitely
No.
like a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here if you need me.
Gentle support
Wow.
from behind.
Okay.
That one's really interesting.
Okay.
I think I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it just because I've never had anything
It
like
does have
that.
a little cayenne in it also.
Is that what it is? Cayenne? Okay. No, we'll save our official
No,
reviews
yeah,
for
it's
the
not
end of the
jalapenos, it's
podcast.
cayenne.
But I feel like across the board, these Big Daddy candies are going to, or Big Daddy Munchies are going to get a high marks across the board.
Yeah, dude. So I'm digging pretty much all those. I've got a couple favorites that just kind of hit me on those.
Keep
So
those here.
yeah, I'll be interested to get to the end of it. I may even jot some notes down while we're going.
Good.
Me like it.
Little reminders for tomorrow. Place
Again, shout
order
out to
at
Rob.
Big Daddy.
Shout out to Rob
Yeah.
over there at Big Daddy
Yeah,
Munchies.
thank you, Rob.
so much for
Thanks, Rob.
hooking us up with the
Appreciate ya.
snacks.
Yes.
And people, if you're watching and you want to try some of this stuff, just go to his website. Very reasonably priced. I think about $8 a bag, maybe some are a little bit more. But
He's on social media too.
yeah, you can find him on Facebook. Obviously, check his website out. So everything is really delicious. I'm looking
Excellent.
forward to our reviews when we're done.
Keep up the good work,
But,
Rob.
yeah, shout out, Rob. Thank you so much, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. We've got some notes on
It's
this.
a little hanging.
That's
yeah.
a good way to start the show.
I'm like, that's going to be hard to top. That's what my worry is. I'm like, we've got some sports stuff, but I don't know how you top that.
I mean, we got a.
We're
gonna have a good show.
Really good.
We got a lot. We want to talk about. We're talking about NFL Combine.
Got the combine.
We're going to talk about some court storming.
Court storming.
We might talk a little NFL free agency.
Maybe some free agencies.
Maybe a little baseball.
A little spring training.
I hope so.
All right. So
Dude, let's fire it off then.
I'm ready for some spicy takes. Takes.
Well, then we're going to start off on something. We're going to start slow and kind of gain a little momentum.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to start off talking about the combine. Now, I feel like nowadays, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like the combine, pro scouts aren't looking at the combine quite as much. I feel like the pro day is a much bigger thing than it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think, they've always had their place, but, you pointed out earlier before the pod talking, you had Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels not throwing at the combine, waiting until their pro day.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the pros and the cons of kind of waiting until your pro day and not getting your skills out there during the combine? Do you think it's got a large effect? Do you think once you reach a certain level, it doesn't really matter?
I think if you're a top tier guy, like a consensus first round pick, you're going to get selected in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay. And like guys want to skip that and go to the combine just for their interviews, right? Mm-hmm. Talk to the GMs. They're going to want to talk to them, obviously.
Yeah.
If we're going to use a first-round pick on you, we want to know what you're like. We want to interview you. We want to know about your family. We want to know everything because they're going to invest millions of dollars into this guy.
Are you a good culture fit?
Maybe hundreds of millions of dollars if he really works out. So they want to make sure, right, like you said, Rachel, is he a culture fit? Like, are you going to fit what we're trying to do with our scheme? But we want to know about you, and I think they get a lot of that. So if you're a top-tier guy, you can kind of skip it, and plus at your pro days, usually generally the guys who are timing you, if you're a quarterback, you're going to throw to your wide receivers.
Yes.
You have good timing and good rhythm with them.
Yep.
If you are running a 40, the guy who you've done strength and conditioning with is going to be your timer. So he might give you have a little liberty with what your 40 time is. So you might just get some overall better results at your pro day. So that's my thought. But if you're a lower tier, like, fourth round or lower, you want to get to that combine because this is what, like, people don't know my name. I'm some random outside linebacker for some. Now, I might have good stats. I might have won a defensive player of the year, but I need to make people see me. And how I'm going to do that is getting on the bench and killing it, getting on the floor, getting in and doing well on the 40. So all of those things. Or
something like, maybe like, you went to a smaller school. You didn't get that exposure that some of these D1 guys see at Alabama and Tennessee and Tech and Florida State and all these teams. Like you don't get the same exposure that some of those guys do. And so maybe the guys that do go to Eastern Tennessee or James Madison or some of these teams.
I feel like there's a whole bunch of more exposure just in general. Like media. There's so much more media now. Mm-hmm. You're being seen, and I think not showing up at the combine is not always a good thing. Like, when you join a team, you're going to have to make plays with people that you don't know. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to do things without your strength and conditioning coach. Like, if you can't perform under pressure, do we want you to perform under pressure for us?
Right.
So there's that argument as well.
No, you got to be able to adapt up to a certain level. You do have to be able to adapt for sure. For sure. Out of everybody, looking at some of the stats, we can go through all these players, and spend hours about players that, underperformed, overperformed. I've just got really a couple things that kind of stood out to me. Anthony Gold, wide receiver, ran the fastest 4.40 at the combine. He ran a low 4.3, pretty solid.
That's kind of fast.
I created a guy on Madden one time.
It's not 4.2, so I don't really care.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. Looks like this class is just not going to be up to par with,
Not well performed.
I mean, that's good for that. It doesn't always translate.
No. And that's one thing I've always kind of thought is, especially wide receivers and running backs and stuff, that they're like, well, he ran a 4.2. And it's like, well, yeah, he ran a 4.2, no pads, straight line, not looking for a pass, not looking. He just ran a straight line. He ran track and field that day.
Yeah.
You're going to be faster in that sense than you are on the field running a go route, full pads, helmet, everything, with a defender latched onto you. So I agree with you. It doesn't always translate.
But some of those skills do. I think like your 3-cone drills and stuff like that, where it's just agility and hips and intuitiveness. Like those kind of skills is what the 40 times kind of flashy.
Yeah.
But good for him, man. I mean, that's fast.
Well, and I feel like the 40 time is kind of like going to the gym, and it's like you see guys go to the gym and all they do is bench, because it's easy to brag about your bench. Like I bench 250.
Their legs look like this.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the
Yeah, it's kind of like the benchmark, literally, right? Like when people talk about the combine or stats, that's what was this 40 time? That's what people. Nobody asks how did he do in a 3-cone drill.
Yeah. Is vertical and all that. People look at those things, but they do kind of seem to be below the 40 time. That does seem to be the top of the list. Well, as of right now, we have some players not competing in the combine or not necessarily competing, but participating. There you go. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels both opted out. I took a little bit of time and kind of went over what I would personally consider a top 5 setup for quarterbacks. I think there's no doubt about it right now. Caleb Williams is most likely going to be the number 1 overall pick.
That opens up a whole can of worms if you're the Bears.
Yes.
And if I'm a Bears fan, it feels like the fate of their franchise is going to happen within the next couple months, because they've got a huge decision to make whether they keep Fields and use all of that salary cap money and all of this draft capital to build around him, or they take Caleb Williams and they'll still have all the salary cap and some other good picks too, but it's a huge decision. I'm sure Bears fans are divided. Probably a lot of them want Caleb Williams. I'm not a Caleb Williams guy. It just something about him just rubs me the wrong way. I think the on-field talent is there, but just something about it just screams bust to me.
Put yourself in the shoes of a Bears fan. I mean, you're a Bills fan, you're a Ravens fan. You've both been fans of your franchise when you've had quarterback issues. You know how important a quarterback can be. But you know how important a quarterback can be, but you also have seen too many cases in the NFL in the last 20 years where a team sells the whole farm for one player and they flop.
Well,
Bryce Young.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and that's why the Bears are picking first this year.
I don't believe in the height. Like, I just never want to play into that height. I feel like we can turn it into a whole conspiracy thing we want to talk about it being scripted, but it's like they want us to believe a certain type of thing, or count on a certain type of player, and I don't like it.
Brent?
Who are your top 5? Who you quarterbacks you got written down there?
Well, first I want to know what you, as a Bears fan, put yourself in their shoes. How do you feel about it? Like, do you think that Fields is bad to a level where you need to go ahead and look at jumping overboard now, getting rid of it, jumping ship, and going a different direction? Or do you think he can be the guy and you can make some moves happen?
I think there's been a lot of turmoil around him. The Bears organization has been a bit of a dumpster fire. It's pretty well documented. They're keeping their head coach when it looked like he was DOA earlier in the season. They're keeping him, which I don't know. That seems to me if they're going to keep if you were going to get a new franchise quarterback, right, and you knew that all along, you would get a new coach too, and have those guys work in tandem. If you're just going to turn around and fire Matt Eberflus next year, if he has a bad year, if they draft Caleb Williams and he has a substandard rookie year, don't make the playoffs, just has an average year, you're going to get rid of him. Then you're going to have to just restart the clock with your new draft pick. So something to me signals that they're going to keep Justin Fields. And they're going to build around him. And they're going to bring in guys who can help build him up. You see the talent. He's got talent. It's more with his legs. I've seen this story play out with the Ravens. I really have. He's just like, he can't pass. And granted, Lamar, when he started out, was very limited. when it came to
Yes,
passing.
he was.
Dynamic on the ground. Dynamic. And I think Justin Fields has that. Is he as shifty as Lamar? No, but he's bigger and he can truck over people.
Mhm.
I think he's got a grittiness about him, which, as a Chicago quarterback, you should have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't see gritty when I think of Caleb Williams. I think soft.
Yep.
So I don't think he's a Chicago guy. Coming from L.A., playing Chicago, the weather's bad. I like Justin Fields. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's a gritty guy. I think it's someone they can build around if they have the right people around him supporting him. And he strikes me as one of those guys, if you just light a fire under his ass, he'll go produce. And it's the same thing happened with Lamar. I see that in him. I think they should hang on to that first pick or trade that first pick,
Yeah.
and trade it to one of the two teams below them, either the Commanders or who's got the second?
You got Washington at 2, and I think you have New England at 3.
Well, yeah. So one of those, let them. They both need a quarterback. I think the Bears are just a couple steps away. You saw their defense come on late last year. They have a lot of money to spend. You bring in some good free agents
Yes.
with a veteran quarterback that you've built around. I'm saying it. They should keep him and build around him. I'm not a Caleb Williams guy. Haven't been. Won't be. I could blow up in my face, but he's just not my guy.
I think after everything I've seen, I think it makes too much sense for Caleb Williams to end up in Washington.
He's from the area. He's from Maryland, Frederick, Maryland, I think.
And you've got Cliff Kingsbury now in Washington. He's got things that benefit him a lot.
Are you a Cliff girl?
I mean, I like his style.
Well, you move a little further down. So, whether the Bears go or not.
I was going to say, if they do trade it away, who do you think they're going to go at?
Well, they would probably trade down to like maybe 4,
Yes.
somewhere around there. You got Marvin Harrison.
That's what I was
Jr.
saying. Do you think they're
sitting
going to go
right there.
receiver?
They're going to have to get another guy on the opposite side of the field from DJ Moore. Would be because you saw what DJ Moore did last year. I know personally because I had him on my fantasy team. He had a great year.
How'd that work out for you?
And this is with someone they say Fields can't throw the ball.
Right.
A makeshift offensive line and no other weapons.
Well, that's what I was curious if maybe they give him a line that gives him some confidence, some time to kind of settle in and work on his throwing. To
Right.
DJ.
I'm saying you build around him with all that money and that draft capital. You could put a team around the guy, and I've seen much worse quarterbacks do more. Okay, so I think he can do it. Keep him around, build around him, trade and get more. You'll have because they have the number 9 pick too.
Yeah.
So they're going to get 2 top 10 picks no matter what.
Yep.
That's true.
So I just want to chime in. I do want to say, you say trade down to 4. So I personally feel like 3 is the threshold. You have Arizona at 4, really needs a receiver as well.
They do.
If you trade with Arizona, I can almost guarantee they're going to go after Marvin Harrison. They're going to snatch Marvin Harrison if you trade down to, or you trade down to 4 and you trade up.
That's a good thought, Randy.
I think
you're right.
I think New England and Washington are if you're trading out and you're hoping to get Marvin Harrison.
I guess one of them is in love with Caleb Williams and wants to go get him. It's like, if you want to go get him, you got to take my spot.
And I think Washington, no offense to Washington, I think Washington's dumb enough to give them the farm to go up 1 pick. I think Washington.
They would obviously have to give him like a 2.
I'm thinking Washington gives them their first overall pick and probably a second overall this year and maybe even next year to go up that 1 spot.
That's a lot.
It is, but that's the NFL, baby.
They got a new owner there.
I was going to say they got new owners.
It's more than
Got
the
some
owner
monies.
too. You got to think the owner has.
But I think a new owner is Josh Harris. He came from Philly. He's like a 76ers guy.
Okay.
Or they're more of a trust the process, right? Didn't they do that up there in Philly? Trust the process. So maybe that's speculation. But it's going to be interesting. I'm pumped for the draft. But we're going to, with the draft, these guys we're going to talk about in the Combine, can make or break their draft. They can be from move up a couple rounds, maybe move down a couple rounds. If you come in and have a bad Combine, you've seen that a couple times.
Well, and so, going past, that's your phone that's connecting to the thing, not mine.
No, mine did.
Yeah, because yours just when that
Bluetooth disconnected.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I disconnected my Bluetooth.
Could you pass me another piece of that yummy Texas meat?
Heck no.
So you move down the line a little bit. We've got some other guys. You know, I'm looking at, and I don't think it's the right move, but I've got Drake May going as the second quarterback. Herbertish, very Herbertish on his
Not
style,
Allenish?
huh?
Allenish?
I've got him a lot more as like a Herbert. He's got some Allenish to him, but I see a lot.
He doesn't have the arm talent that Josh Allen does.
I don't think so. And Herbert, like Drake May can be smart with the ball, and no offense to Josh Allen, but Herbert is smarter with the ball than Josh Allen.
I saw a good comp before I came over here. A good comp for Drake May. And this is from Kurt Benkert. Kurt Benkert. He spent some time in the NFL. He played at UVA. I think he played somewhere else. He transferred to UVA. But anyway, he's like on social media. He breaks down a lot of film. That's his thing. So he talked about Drake May, and his comparison was this. This is not a good comparison. He said, a more athletic, but less arm strength and less accuracy than Mason Rudolph. That's where he compared him to. And I'm like, that's not who I want to be compared to.
You just single-handedly bumped him down 10 extra picks.
And so
10 extra spots.
When I heard that, I'm like, he really must not have liked his tape. Mm-hmm. And I've seen the kid play, and he's got athleticism. He's right, and he can run. But I thought he was a pretty good passer. But
on that same note, everybody said the same thing about Trubisky, and I know both of them UNC quarterbacks. They all said a lot of those things about Trubisky. I mean, if you remember that draft, when Trubisky was coming out, everyone thought he was the hottest.
Quarterback troubles.
Yeah, we're still talking about that's what bring it back to the Bears. They're the one who drafted Mitch Trubisky second overall when Patrick Mahomes was in the same draft sitting at number 9.
Yep.
And the Chiefs went up and got him.
Yeah.
I thought I would go a week without talking about that guy. I just said his name.
Well, then let's move on.
No, hold on.
No.
Can I say one thing?
One thing
about Patrick Mahomes. I was on the radio. He plagues me. Because I'm driving and I'm listening to this radio show on Fox Sports Radio, and he teases he's going to commercial break. He says, when we come back, we're going to talk about 31 NFL teams that have a problem and only one team that doesn't.
Oh, Lord.
And we'll talk about it when we get back. I'm like, I already know this was going to be So I'm driving. I still hit a commercial break. Guess what the problem was?
They didn't have Pat Mahomes on their team.
Exactly. I'm like, boy, he's like, 31 teams don't have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs do. I immediately turn the radio down. I'm like, boo. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No.
You know how
Chris Collinsworth is going to fight somebody over that.
Oh, don't even get me started on Chris Collinsworth.
I just, it made me, I'm in my car. You know how I got last time we talked about Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
But anyway, move on. I wish he had gotten drafted by the Bears. Because then they would have screwed him up.
As much.
He'd be in the XFL or something.
The entire dynamic of the NFL would have changed.
Seriously.
Well, I will say one last thing. I feel like Drake May is he's a system quarterback. He did well at UNC because of the system they have. If you bring him into the NFL, not every team is going to be willing to build a system around you. You're going to have to adapt, and that's one thing I think he lacks. I don't see him as the quarterback to adapt to a different system for a different team. That's just me. Personally, I kind of like Jaden Daniels a little more than May. I could see Jaden Daniels actually, that surprise pick coming through above Drake May. I'm going to tell you, Jaden Daniels has a lot of intangible greatness.
Dude, you said it. You hit it right on the head. Here's what I like him so much more. I like him better than Caleb Williams for this reason alone. He transfers from Arizona State. His teammates dogged him. They said, you were ass anyway. Like, you can go. Right? He's not transferring down. Yeah. He's transferring to the SEC, which is, for all intents and purposes, big boy football.
Yeah.
And he goes to LSU, which is a rabid place. I mean, they pick you apart if you're not good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, just the intensity. So he went to the Crucible, and he came out with a freaking Heisman.
Valley.
Yeah.
Just that, his stats were through the roof. And he's got neighbors, which we'll talk about later.
Yep.
He's got some pieces around it, but that mental toughness to overcome the adversity, silence all the haters, and go win a Heisman in a highly competitive SEC against other people that were just as deserving. impressive, and I like that over what I feel the intangibles Caleb Williams brings to the table.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of similarities to another NFL quarterback.
Well,
Back to football.
I will say this one thing that I keep seeing scouts that are reporting and analysts reporting. One thing about Jaden Daniels, they were like the touch. They were like he has a touch on his passes that you don't see very often, and that always kind of makes me wonder because that's one of those things you really need in the NFL. You got to be able to have the touch, man. Like, I feel like the touch and crispiness kind of goes together.
I think he's the guy for Washington, if it were me.
You think so? Yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
They need that spark.
They
need
do.
Something to kind of come in there and light it up.
Well, speaking of spark, let's talk about a team who needed some spark this year, and they found it. My number 4 quarterback, I've got J.J. McCarthy at number 4.
Let's talk about J.J.
J.J. McCarthy, very pro-minded quarterback. These teams with a true pro offense, I think he can flourish with a lot of them.
I think so. And there is a team in the top 5 that has a propensity also for Michigan quarterbacks. So, again.
But he's not in the 7th round or whatever, 6th round. Brady was a big man. Are you talking about New England?
True.
Well, yeah, I'm
That's true.
talking about
That's
New England, but
I mean,
it's not the same round.
If you want, if you want to talk intangibles, this guy's the king of intangibles. I think he meditates under the field goal post before the games, and
he lives it.
Like, he reminds me a lot of I liken him to like a less athletic Tim Tebow, like a leader of.
He's a general. Yes,
he's like a leader of men. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly going to go up and light up the scoreboard, but the things you ask me to do, I'm going to take them in. I'm going to do them the best that I can do them. And I'm also going to be a leader to the guys in the locker room. And they all rallied around that guy. He had a lot of hate just because, you're a game manager. Michigan didn't ask him to do a lot. They said, because we have a good offensive line, we have a good running game, we're just going to run the ball. And we're going to win games, and we're going to win a national championship. And that's what they did. So I have maybe it's not that long of a stretch to think like, well, he didn't do a lot. So he didn't ask him to do a lot, so he can't do a lot.
Right.
But I think with a guy like that, like if he's got those great intangibles, you could challenge him and say, hey, like, we're not going to run the ball. We trust you to throw the ball, be efficient with the ball, and make plays for us. And he'll say, okay, coach, I'm going to do that. Yeah. So that's when I say less athletic Tim Tebow, that's kind of like what he reminds me of now. Tim Tebow went in the first round and then fizzled out very quickly. Yeah. Ended up being like tight end, whatever. But like,
and he had a lot of hype coming out of Florida. Like
but the kid's a winner. The kid at Michigan's a winner. I think he's lost one game as a starter. Yeah. So he's a winner, and winning is king. That's what you need to do. So
yeah. Well, I mean, Michigan, I feel like they always field a really good team, and it's always made or broken on the quarterback.
Always.
When you had Denard Robinson, he was a decent quarterback, but the team around him was stellar. But he just, to me, he kind of lacked that last step of eliteness that you needed. He had some gimmicky stuff. He was super fast, tall, lanky guy.
He didn't have that like leader.
No,
I felt like he didn't have that.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think that's something that good catch. I think that's something that Michigan, especially when Harbaugh was the coach, I think that's something that they kind of lean on in Michigan is, hey, like, we have this guy who's a field general. He's gonna do some things out here, and we need everyone to buy in on the program because this is how we're going to win games. And it obviously worked.
I was gonna say,
you win a national title. Yeah.
It's a big name program for a reason.
I think he'll probably go somewhere in the middle of the first round. I think he'll get drafted high. I really do. Because I think there'll be a GM or somebody out there who's like, I see this in this kid. What I was talking about, the intangibles, and this is a guy, like, if it pans out, we can work around this kid.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, and that goes both ways. We can work around him, but he seems like the kind of guy who's willing to work around what we need.
It sounds like
if he went into a team that was dysfunctional or something, like, he would not do well. But if he goes to a team that's got, a good base, a good foundation,
Another steady program.
yeah, he could do well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
good point.
Well, the fifth quarterback I have, I kind of was all around. I went through some stats. I looked at a couple guys on film from this past season. I've got Spencer Rattler from South Carolina at number 5. Well, not number 5, but 5th overall. Out of all the quarterbacks, not 5th overall in the draft. I've got.
I don't think Dr. Mike agrees with you on that one.
No, I mean, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but
I'm not saying where he's going to get drafted. I'm just saying
the 5th quarterback.
Yeah,
it could be in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
There's a lot of talent other than quarterbacks too in this draft, so he could. Truth be told, he could go way down. J.J. McCarthy could go down. I mean, it's all about what teams need.
Here's who you should have on this list right here.
Tell me.
Michael Penix.
Oh.
Why is he not on the list?
Yes. That's a good...
He's way better than Spencer Rattler.
But you want to know why? You want to know why, Brent? I'll tell you why. Because I don't think Michael Penix is going to translate well to the pros.
Ooh.
I said it. There.
Dude.
I said it.
Why?
I think the guy is very, very inaccurate under pressure. I think that there is a ladybug flying around the studio.
Like Asian beetles. They're crazy. Sorry, y'all.
What is going on?
Chaos.
Yes, it's just ensuing around us.
He's attacking you because of your poor Michael Penix take. He heard your crap.
He
He was like, I heard you talking that ish.
I just think, and again, that's a personal opinion. That's just where I'm at on it. I know he made it.
That's another kid. He's just got that. He's got that Jane Daniels vibe to me. He's transfer from Indiana. Like, if you're getting a scholarly offer from Indiana, you're an average. Indiana's not pulling like 5-star guys. Like, you're just an average player.
Yeah.
And he made himself better. I don't know.
Just like I said, this is what
See,
SportsBites
but
is
Spencer
all
Rattler
about.
did the same thing and was a big hot coiled pile of dog food down it.
True, but Spencer Rattler also didn't have the same weapons around him that Michael Penix had.
That's true. We'll talk about one of those guys.
Yeah, but again, that's my pick. Obviously, we disagree.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Why wouldn't I pick him? His last name is Penix.
That's true.
So wait, would his name be Dr. Mike Penix?
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are all still 12 years old.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so that's it. Moving on, running backs. Just kind of going to run through these. I've got 5 on there. Obviously, I am biased, but I still feel like this is going to be the number 1 running back pick. I've got Trey Benson coming out of FSU.
Of course you do.
I mean,
of course.
Say what you will, the dude is electric. He fits pretty much any kind of offense you would want to put him in. He can run on a spread offense. He can run in a pro offense.
He kind of had to, though, didn't he?
Elaborate.
Was that this? I don't know. I don't really watch FSU, but wasn't this year their quarterback hurt?
Too soon, Rachel.
My bad. Excuse me.
Yeah. That's why
like,
Jordan Travis is in the top 5 quarterbacks.
Right, exactly.
Still in a wheelchair.
I was honest about it, though. I could have been like, Jordan Travis is better than all of these guys.
Just saying,
Trey Benson did work, and Trey Benson was a big part of the reason that we remained undefeated after Jordan Travis got hurt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sure thing.
No,
I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, our backups did their job. Our defense played stellar down the stretch. Look, the season's done. I'm not
going to kick you off your FSU soapbox. Go ahead.
No, I mean,
preach, boy.
The season's over. I'm done. I've wasted so much breath preaching to everyone about the FSU thing because did we get the shaft? Yeah. Yes. No. Maybe. Who cares? It's over now. It is what it is. Was I pissed off when it happened? Right, I was. I mean,
did you throw out your FSU gear? Oh, not this year.
No, not this year.
That was last year.
No, that was a few years ago.
Was it a few years ago?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care who you are. You lose.
Let him wait a couple days. He has to go shamefully get his stuff out of the trash.
Oh, no, he left it. It
stayed
in the trash. Yep.
It's gone. I had an FSU hat. It was my lucky hat.
We had some cleansing
when we
Done.
lost,
Purification.
You cleanse the bad juju.
when we lost to, I think it was Jacksonville State or Jackson.
Oh,
State.
yeah. Oh, that was
Yeah,
so
it
terrible.
was
You lost on a
terrible.
Hail Mary. I
God,
remember that game.
No, I walked straight out the back door.
just
Was like,
in
done.
the trash can.
oh,
done.
so mad. Well, all right. So second, a real hot team this year. Great running game all the way around. I've got Bucky Irving from Oregon.
Okay.
Great running back. Again, intangibles all across the board, especially for a running back.
I mean, he's got a cool name.
Right. Again, just running through some of these. I've got Jonathan Brooks, Texas running back, as the third running back taken. USC, I've got Marshawn Lloyd, as the fourth running back, and I've got Jalen Wright as my number 5 running back out of Tennessee.
All right.
I know I spent a lot less time on those than quarterbacks, but I feel like all 5 of those running backs could be game changers if they go to the right team.
Right, yeah.
And that's anybody.
No, it's that 5.
Whatever you say, boss.
I guess we just don't get excited because running back has become such a
Like a big
sour.
chip. Did you think those were Skittles?
I grabbed them and even looked at them and was like, oh, they're still really good.
It's like running back has become like such a disposable position. It's like, nah, we got a first round we got a good running back. Okay, who else do we get?
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's but
One guy I will say, good grief, Paul Yellows, I love it. One guy that I will say that I don't have in my top 5, and I can't believe I didn't get any gruff for this one. I do not have Blake Corum in my top 5. I should.
I mean, yeah, you should. Some of these guys don't even know.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, Tennessee. Why don't you have Blake Corum? What about him don't you think is going to translate to the NFL?
Truthfully, the reason I didn't have Blake Corum in my top 5 was to try to elicit an argument from you.
Oh, he likes to fight.
No.
No.
Truth
Why?
be told,
Truthfully.
Blake Corum, in my book, could go in place of any of these 5. Even Trey Benson. Blake Corum is not getting the credit, I feel like, going into this draft that he should. Blake Corum,
Why?
in my book, at the end of the
He's
season...
not super
His
fast.
size.
No, he's got decent size. He's thick. He's a little shorter. He's got some speed, not breakaway speed, but he's a tough runner, like just a gritty
A pounder,
yeah.
Just
He reminds me of a slightly slower Christian McCaffrey. He really does. He's tough.
and darker.
I
Was
argued
he-
that as well.
Wow. But he's a tough dude. He can run straight through the middle. He can run around the outside. He can still catch the ball. He can do what you need him to do. He's an every down back.
He's a winner.
basically, and he's a winner. I'm like, so we're just everything we just talked about could have been attributed to Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, that's it for our running backs. Thoughts, questions, concerns. Snatch that ladybug up while it's down
Where is it?
Oh, right there
beside you.
on the floor.
What do you want me to do with it?
I don't know.
Chewy ate it.
No, Chewy wouldn't eat it. There we go.
All right. Somewhere else with it.
All right. While Rachel is on ladybug removal,
On a mission.
we're doing wide receivers.
Yeah, wide receivers. Starting without you, babe. So, golly. I feel like you're going to roast me for this. You've roasted me pretty good so far, but I feel like you're about to roast me
Okay,
on
go
this
ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
I feel like, me personally, that I find as much value in Malik Neighbors as I do in Marvin Harrison Jr.
What?
Is this an alternative universe?
I'm just saying.
Why?
Everyone is talking about is Marvin Harrison Jr. That's all they're talking about.
Have you watched him play?
Unfortunately. I'm not allowed to watch Ohio State very much in this household.
This kid, watch the tape, dude. His route running, speed. Everybody he played against knew this kid's getting the ball. Everybody knew the ball's going to him.
And he still somehow got it.
And cooked people.
Every single time.
If the ball was close to him, he reminded me legitimately of Randy Moss. That's my comp.
That's
Like, just with his slim.
What?
It's like
the
his
slim.
He's got a bigger build. He's got a huge weight. He's got the pedigree. His dad is Marvin Harrison.
I get that.
Oh, is that? Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
wondered
where
where he got his name from.
That's where the junior's from.
Oh,
Yeah,
silly.
he's his son. But, like, he's just got it. He's got the whole package of athleticism,
That's
catch,
such a bold statement.
route
though.
running,
Randy
speed.
Moss?
I mean, he's got it all. Like, he reminds me of a Randy Moss type. Really.
and let's understand one thing.
Okay, if it's not Randy Moss, who's your NFL comp that's playing right now? Because
That's playing right now.
That's playing right now. I could
what
probably
that Harrison reminds me of. Ugh. I don't know if there really is one right now.
I got one right now.
Who?
Keenan Allen.
Mm.
Just tough. Catches.
Tough.
Long.
Makes it happen.
Wingspan. Just a guy. Maybe
Keenan is pretty crispy.
he is. He's crispy as
Is it
shit.
not grimy?
Nah, he's crispy. He is crispy.
Now he's a little long in the tooth now, but like he's explosive.
Yes.
I love that kid. I love that kid. Whoever gets him is going to be very happy that they got that guy.
All I'm saying is, I'm not trying to take anything away from
What does
Marvin
Malik
Harrison.
Neighbors have that he doesn't have? Like,
I'm
why
not
do you
saying
put him
What's
above?
he going to provide?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, y'all are misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's better than
Y'all
Marvin
heard it.
Harrison. I'm saying that I see as much value in him as what you see in Marvin Harrison.
Well, that's
I think
because
that
you
they're
can't
both gonna
put
go
value
top.
on him.
They're going to both going to
you're
go
absolutely right. This is all opinion. That's all
You
this
don't
is.
know what anybody thinks is valuable.
True. All I go by is what I see on TV and the stats. That's all I can go by. But I'm just saying
Stats.
that I feel like he is undervalued when you put him side by side with Marvin Harrison Jr. And again, I am not taking anything away from Marvin Harrison Jr. The dude is a friggin' ridiculous beast on the field. We're sitting here talking about Marvin Harrison, that the Bears, if they wanted him, cannot trade down past 3 to get him.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has tremendous value. That's if they trade out of the way.
That's
If
why
they
I make
really,
that comp. That's why I
Right,
make that
nobody's-
Randy Moss comp. Like, he's just that good.
I feel like that's such a hard comparison for anybody not proven a single game in the pros.
It's
though.
just a comp. He could fizzle out,
Okay.
but I see that in him.
You see the Moss-tastic in it.
I do. I see him mossing people. Like, he's just got the height, the range, the athleticism, the catching ability. It's all there.
Well,
I get that. The yak, right?
that was
I love
I love the yak.
that was really kind of my big thing with wide receivers. The wide receivers, there's a lot of wide receivers coming out. That was the big one I kind of wanted to hit on, was just that I saw that same talent. I'm not even going to go into my other top 5 because personally I think it's irrelevant, and we're running out of time. And I know that we've got some big free agents that are going to be just as important
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
as the draft. I think the draft is going to be wild. I think it's going to be a fun time to watch. I think all of our teams are going to get somebody that's going to benefit us in the long run, whether it be the first round or second round or seventh round. I think all of our teams will end up with somebody that will benefit us down the stretch. I think there's going to be some teams that are pissed. I think there's going to be some fan bases that are pissed.
Isn't there always?
Always.
I
Every
think
time.
that personally,
Ravens usually have a good draft.
I think personally that is not out of the realm of possibility that Chicago gets nothing for their first overall and takes Marvin Harrison as the first overall pick. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility. If you trade, you trade to the number 2 team, to Washington, under the assumption that they're going to get Caleb Williams, and okay, that's cool, and then you still get Harrison.
But I think you could trade. I think if they want to get Marvin Harrison or a quarterback, trade back, because you know the 2 teams behind you are desperate for a quarterback.
And because you can get more out of it.
But we're also talking about teams that could, you have to look at it. What if they say, okay, we're going to draft him and trade him? You know how much
I mean,
trade stock comes with Marvin Harrison
There's
Jr.?
been a lot of more crazy
things,
stuff come out of the NFL draft. So
So I'm saying this could be interesting. But
what the draft is crazy. Free agency is also crazy because it's just like,
and it's
who's
geared
going to
up.
pay me? So I got a list right here of all the top NFL free agents. Now, when I made this list, it was a bit longer, but 2 guys in the last 24 hours or so have been tagged.
Yep.
S.T. Higgins and L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs. Both great players. One's a wide receiver, one's a DB. Both been tagged. So the teams have said we're going to tag them.
Yeah.
So going up from the bottom to the top, Jalen Johnson, quarterback from Chicago. Antoine Winfield, safety from Tampa Bay. Christian Watkins, a defensive tackle from Miami. Justin Madubuike from the Ravens, and I pray that they keep him because he was a force in the middle of that defense. He was really good. I hope we can hang on to him. Keep going working up our way to number 1. We got Brian Burns from Carolina, edge rusher, dynamic guy, probably really wants to get out of Carolina. So, and then we got Josh Allen, not your Josh,
the other,
not your Josh Allen. Josh Allen from Jacksonville. Now he had 19 sacks.
I mean, yeah.
So he's going to command some big bucks. And I
19 sacks. Bills need an edge rusher. 2 Josh Allens on the same team.
And a Kyle Allen.
Did that happen?
There's too many Allens.
Too many
that
Allens.
happen?
All right, they need Tim Allen to come build a fence around the place.
More power.
Keenan Allen. We could just keep piling it on.
All the Allens.
All the Allens.
Okay.
We do have
And then-
Allentown.
Now the top 2,
Yeah.
or like my most intriguing 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Here
We
we
got Kirk Cousins. Now, you saw all the quarterbacks, all the backups, all the crappy quarterbacks that were playing. You're telling me there's not a team out there that's willing to throw the bag at Kirk Cousins? Because he was having a great season before he got hurt.
He was.
And now, granted, he's got Justin Jefferson, but holy crap. So I think Kirko's going to, command a little bit of money. I think Minnesota might keep him. I think he strikes me as one of those, I'm going to give you the right of first refusal.
Correct.
You come to me with your best offer.
He's a little older, so I think he has some respect.
And he's a family man, so he's
Yeah.
I don't want to uproot everything, move to a new city. If you come to me with a respectable offer, I'm going to stay here in Minnesota.
Early word out that I saw from, I can't remember what player agency it was talking 51. 51 million.
For how long?
I should have had that wrote down.
It's got to be at least 2.
I think that's all it was 2 years.
2 for 52?
51.
Yeah,
51.
Chump change. What's that, million?
Yeah. Expert analysis projects $51 million annually.
Annually?
For Kirk Cousins.
Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins?
dude. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So a lot of this talks about his veteran leadership.
No way.
He's been through a lot of the. Hey, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that was
Okay. And there's got to be a really desperate team
He
out
took
there.
so long to develop, I feel like.
he didn't have everything in Washington he needed, I felt like, and he still was pretty good.
Well, they screwed up because they drafted RG3 in the same draft.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So when you draft 2 quarterbacks, you already know you're going up against another
Correct.
guy.
Yes. And nothing makes the quarterback sweat more than having to fight for their job every day. Every single day, you're not knowing if they're gonna. Hey, we didn't like the way you practiced this week, so we're gonna start the other guy over you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Nightmare.
51 million.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Okay. All right.
I think that's should be reserved for an elite quarterback.
100%. I think
would not consider
an elite
we won't
quarterback
talk
at that
about elite.
age.
We'll save that.
You're looking at 1 or 2, because that's the thing. Coming off an injury at his age, you're not looking at a long-term contract. You're looking at a guy. He's going to fill a need for a year, maybe 2.
Oh my God.
See,
51 mil though.
Oh my.
Now that changes
The-
things.
It's gonna
Now
be a wild
That
ride.
price is a little more sour than these sour bites that I had. That time.
But that makes you wonder, okay, you were talking about, he is a family man. He does love. He's come out and said how much he loves Minnesota, and
Yeah.
I like that. But do you think that Minnesota throwing an offer is even going to be remotely close to that estimate? Because you got to think his agent is seeing these analyses.
Probably
coming
not,
out.
but it's not like
We
he's hurt
have-
for money. But damn.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy stuff happen with money, where players have turned down money to stay where they are.
But that's Lamar Jackson makes that in a year. Mahomes makes that in a little less than that. He makes like $45 million a year. It's like,
I wouldn't
okay,
consider them on the same
alright.
playing level.
I feel like it's definitely a big what
but if you're
estimate.
desperate, if you're super desperate, I mean,
But that puts a lot of pressure on you to perform at $51 million a year money, which would put a mental strain on him.
So,
Who do we got?
when we talk about pressure,
Yeah. What do we
this
got?
top guy, we've talked about him on this very podcast.
Okay.
Game changer, Chris Jones from the Chiefs. Yeah, he balled out the playoffs. He had a great year. Now, he's an unrestricted free agent, but the Chiefs can tag him for $33 million for a one-year deal. One-year deal, $33 million for Chris Jones. Or you let him walk. Because you know there's a team out there that's going to want to pay him. You don't think the Eagles will pay him?
Yeah,
Oh,
they'll
God,
let him
yeah,
walk.
dude.
I think they're going to let him walk.
I can tell you right now,
Because
31 teams out there. I can tell you, 31 teams would be willing
If they
to go
got the
after
money,
Chris Jones if they
If
have
they got
it.
the money.
If they have it.
But all you got to do is turn on the tape.
But my
with
thing,
that guy.
I will say is this: for a team that the coaches, the owners, all of the players on offense and defense at the end of the Super Bowl talking about 3. We're going for the 3-peat. We're doing it. We're this dynasty is complete. We're going for 3. You lose Chris Jones, and my prediction I said about the Super Bowl next year comes true
Changes.
for sure. You lose Chris Jones to another team, and you do not have the team to go to the Super
He's
Bowl.
a heartbeat
next
of
year.
that defense.
He
dude.
is.
They're gonna. There's no way they don't tag him and then try to work out along.
Yeah.
Like we'll just pay him extra, take that $33 million, and go on to next year. Unless somebody comes up with an offer you can't refuse.
And I feel like for a caliber player like him, somebody is
will
going to come up with
the
an
money.
offer.
$33 million.
Here, what's his? Y'all keep talking. I'm looking up his valuation
Okay.
because I bet you it's going to be insane.
Because when I was looking at Matt Amicus, it was like $21 million. That was his valuation per year. I'm like, that sounds about right. And they play the same position.
Right.
You're telling me he's $12 million a year better than that guy?
But again, it's,
I mean, it may
it's
be
so hard to
so,
put value on what somebody else finds valuable. You said if they're desperate enough, they're going to pay it.
Now wait a minute. Was it Chris Jones that held out at the beginning of last
he had
season?
he had a little contract negotiation. Yeah, he did.
So his contract this
pushing for
last year
money.
when he held out was 1 year. Was $25 million.
Okay.
Um,
So $8 million more than what they're paying.
and that's with incentives. The base was 19.5.
Yeah.
So you have to think, no matter what, franchise tagged or going to another team, he's going to make after his season an astronomical amount more than what that is.
But what if he goes out and gets hurt? Like, if someone comes up with a long-term deal
You're
for a
protected.
lot of
Price
money,
you play.
like, I'm not on a 1-year deal, I'm a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
That way, if I get hurt, I'm okay. Like, he played last year on a 1 year. I don't think he might not want to do it again because he go out there blowing ACL and his volume goes.
Yep. Through the floor.
Well,
So-
that's going to be an interesting one because
So yeah,
We'll
those
watch how that plays out.
yeah, because there's
starting
like I said,
for NFL.
there's 31 teams that could definitely
early.
use him. Even teams that have a stacked defense, you still can use him. Like there's not a team out there that can't use that kind of talent.
No doubt, dude. No doubt.
We've also I
come to
see on
Baltimore.
I see on your list, I see a lot of names, but I'm noticing this big running back set of free agents is coming out. I don't really see a lot on there.
These were just top overall. There is a huge class of
Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs,
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, and
Wow.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
All free
Hear about-
agents.
Yeah, Barkley.
I think one of them, they came out and said it today. One of them's coming to Baltimore. They said they want, because Gus is a free agent, JK's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
They said, we want to get a free agent running back. I would take any one of those 5 on my team.
I'd take any of them but Pollard. I don't think Pollard has I just don't think he's the guy.
For Baltimore, he could be, but there's definitely other guys that are better fit. And again, I think the betting favorite is Derrick Henry to come to Baltimore, which we like.
Right.
And I,
Yes.
The dream.
and I think that's another one that, you're going to pay a lot of money for whoever gets Derrick Henry, and it's a risk. Does he translate well to whatever team he goes to?
True.
I can't remember who it was, running back for the Cowboys that the Eagles got. This was years ago.
DeMarco Murray?
DeMarco Murray. Dude, he was a stud I like how you just fired that off real quick, man. That was pretty good. But he was a stud in Dallas and came to Philadelphia, and we didn't have the same line at the time. We had a young group of guys around him. We were still trying to figure it out. If I'm not mistaken, we still had Chip Kelly as our coach, I believe, at the time, who was golly, probably the worst coach in Philadelphia history. But yeah, some of those names, I mean, they're going to help a team tremendously. Saquon, man, like, great running back.
He's hurt.
You risk it though.
He's
you risk
hurt
it because of the injury.
I would love Derrick Henry to come in. Like when I think of him, when he's healthy. But my other concern with Derrick Henry is that he's been run into the ground a little bit.
Yeah,
they have run his ass a lot.
Absolutely.
And like I wonder how much gas is left in the tank. But if you get a good Derrick Henry, he's a game changer.
Yeah.
So I would love to have him in Baltimore.
What about Buffalo? You guys have James Cook,
We do.
but you can always use a good complimentary back to go with him.
He's not like James Cook. He is not like
I
a
feel
between
he
the
didn't
tackles
develop.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Josh Jacobs.
explosive.
I think Josh Jacobs would be a good fit for Buffalo.
I kind of agree.
Oh.
I
kinda
really
like
do
that.
because he could do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
He can catch the ball. He can go between
screens.
tackles, and I think he's a good pass protector too. Because Josh Allen, he likes to improvise a little bit. So,
Putting it lightly.
yeah. And if he has a solid check down option, maybe he'll throw less picks.
Right? And I think James Cook
We can only hope.
James Cook could flourish if he had somebody to take some of the eyes off of him. If James Cook comes in, I mean, dude, he was your main back. He was your number one guy, hands down all season. You had Latavius Murray. You didn't use him much through downfield. You used him a lot at the goal line. But
Every time.
Josh Jacobs fills that role too.
Yeah. So,
Yes. We'll see what happens.
dude, I can't wait.
Interesting.
I'm Jones from NFL. I did see earlier this week that NFL is going to propose a rule change
Uh-oh.
to their kickoff.
Yep.
And go to XFL style, which, if you don't know, it's both teams line up along the 35, and you've got 10 on this side, 10 on this side, your returner and your kicker. And he basically does like a free kick, and he catches it, and then as soon as their returner catches it, then you can move. So the 10 guys are just staring at each other until the guy catches the ball. So their idea is that you are going to have less running, which will reduce the impact of a collision because they're starting 10 yards apart.
Correct.
And they can't move until the guy catches the ball. And I'm just thinking it's going to be a lot more touchdowns because these guys, it's like, all right, I've got my
They're gonna
dynamic
get to
guy in the back.
speed.
It's almost like a punt return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar to a punt return, but for kickoffs. So if it will pass,
Exciting.
I don't know. There's probably some purists out there who will say, no, you got to kick the ball off. There's got to be touchbacks, and the kicker needs to have toe on leather. So
Yes.
like,
The only thing I will say about it, looking at the design of it,
because then it's not kickoff anymore, it's punt off.
because of the NFL and the way things have gone these last few years, I see a ton of holding calls with that format. I see a ton of holding calls because the refs, the last few years especially, they have no problem throwing a
They
flag
love
on.
a good holding call.
Huh?
They
do.
love a good holding call.
Golly, don't they? Especially at an opportune moment.
When
Just like they love Texas peanut brittle.
Yes, when the fate of the game depends on it.
Oh man. Well, yeah, those are going to be some wild free agents, and I like.
And the salary cap went up this year.
Yeah.
It went up by a significant
good-
amount.
Yeah,
so,
good margin.
Like, there's going to be some teams
Lots of
throwing some
money.
money around.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I can't wait.
Well, I do miss football already too. Even with baseball coming, spring training and stuff is here. I still just like jonesing for it. Like, oh man.
Yeah, it's like by the end of the season, I'm kind of ready for it to be over, as weird as it sounds. And then, yeah, by like March, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for football now. I just needed like a couple weeks
We got
of
the
a break.
UFL coming, XFL and USFL mixed together, whatever.
Whoop-de-doo.
We'll see.
Now,
Let's see if they can grab.
I'm a diehard New Orleans Voodoo fan. How dare you?
Okay. I don't. The New Orleans Voodoo. What do their uniforms look like?
They're red
Black.
and black. Gold.
Shocker. Green.
I don't know.
No. Just keep with the theme,
I don't even know if
right?
that's
If
a
it
team.
works.
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you're just talking shit.
This whole time I'm like, yeah, New Orleans voodoo.
I
All I'm
kinda
thinking is
it,
like,
those voodoo pretzels.
I was like, all I'm thinking is some voodoo chips right about now. Like, damn, kettle
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
Man.
Whatever.
Oh,
Gotcha.
man. You did. You got us. You got us. Well,
Bazinga.
that being said, let's move on, because I know we have another one. We're on a time crunch, and we had one that was kind of a big topic this week.
Yes.
It goes into the NCAA, into basketball, of course. We had an incident. Now, we've had an incident. Let's start this off. There have been incidents before with this, maybe not to this level, and maybe not as many people saying things about it. Then we had an incident a month ago with Caitlin Clark getting injured by a fan storming the court, running into her, injured Caitlin Clark. Well, then we had this last week.
I'm waiting.
Duke loses to Wake Forest. Upset for them.
Yep.
Wake Forest fans storm the court.
Yes.
Kyle Filipowski. Got it. I had it. Man, I had it. Kyle Filipowski gets hit by a fan coming in. You know what? Actually, we'll make it really easy. We've got the video. Let's just show the video right now. Kyle Filipowski, Wake Forest fans rushing the court. Check it out. And so you see the fans coming in. Obviously, that's a lot of people. Basketball court is a small area. It's a very confined space.
It may look big on TV, but it is a little small.
Me personally, I have my reservations about it. I'm not a big fan of storming the court, and I've heard numerous coaches, even the Wake Forest coach, say, I don't really like it.
Oh, your shirt said Braves, not Fun Police.
Oh no, Randy is the fun police.
Always the fun police. As a matter of fact, I don't know how the fun police can eat these rainbow crunchies over here, because they are nothing but fun.
Dude. Is that your real stance?
It is. I think that player safety should be number one.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. But I think storming the court is a tale as old as time. Like,
It is.
especially in this very instance, it's an in-state rival, right? Wake Forest, Duke. Duke they are the blue bloods, right? They're the blue bloods of college football. You know, they just have an air about them.
Of course.
So when they come to little old Wake Forest and they lose,
Demon deep.
they're going to storm the court. And I think it is something about the pageantry of college basketball that I enjoy. I do like that. For what happened this week, I mean, Rachel,
I am also for storming the court. Sorry. I'm all for it. I mean, the guy's 7 foot tall. They didn't, like, you could avoid him. I understand it's a lot of people, but,
in this instance, for much as I'm thinking about Duke, I'm actually for Duke in this argument because, like, 2 reasons. A, Wake Forest, they know Duke's coming to town. They were favored in this game by 2.5 points. Somebody knew that this was going to be a close game. Mm-hmm. But when Duke comes to town, everything's elevated because they are who they
Absolutely.
are. So, I think it was more a failure of the Wake Forest infrastructure of security. Maybe a little bit of John Shire because I didn't like the play that he run. Like, the game was over. Mm-hmm. Don't need to run a play to the middle of the court. Run it inbound close to your sideline. That way, when the buzzer goes off, everybody can just go straight to your sideline and you have this much court to go. So I will say that. But you run a play to the middle of the court. But those Wake Forest fans were on the court before the clock went off. Mm-hmm. That is a failure of Wake Forest security.
Yeah.
And I think just with a heightened sense of things, when you know that they're coming to town, you need to be next level.
More, yeah, vigilant.
So I think the failure is more of them. And as far as Kyle Filipowski is concerned, like, as his personal conduct, dude, they're competitors, right? You lose a game, you're pissed off.
Absolutely.
So not only are you pissed off, you're having a crowd of people that you don't know run at you.
And taunt you,
and say
terrible
whatever
things.
they're going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep you out of my space. So he had every right to defend his bot. So I think Duke, his coach failed him a little bit, but for the most part, I think Wake Forest security failed them in the most part. Like, that's their job to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Whether they're home or away, and they didn't do it. So I really don't like that he got hurt or
Right.
And then they say he's going to be fine. He's a little sore.
Yeah.
Maybe they played it up a little bit. And I guarantee you, if this was not Duke and it was somebody from NC State or Syracuse or Virginia Tech or Georgia Tech or something, it would not be a big deal. But because it's Duke, because they're the Duke Blue Devils, we got to hear about it. So, but all things said, I am pro court storming. Keep it, but let's have a little bit better security so guys
sense of control.
Right.
Over
Yeah.
crowd
Rachel,
control.
what do you think?
No, yeah, I agree. And I agree with you about the pageantry because there's so many people, and I am one of the people. I am not a huge basketball fan overall. I'm definitely not an NBA fan, but I enjoy NCAA football, basketball, also March Madness. It's more exciting. It's steeped in traditions, and the court storming is part of that. So I don't think you should get rid of it.
So ask Fun Police what he thinks.
Well.
Well, this whole time, I was looking forward to this because I knew where you stood on it. And, I know we had kind of gone back and forth before filming tonight. And, I'm going to be the first to admit, I have no problem admitting any time that I feel as though I'm wrong about something. But
wrong.
I do like the point that you've made about, one, Duke's head coach. You got to put a little bit on him. If you have to, you probably, and I've never been to a basketball game, so I can't understand from being there. But just from seeing it on TV, you have to feel the emotion in the air when you get down to those last
energy,
few seconds.
you know what's going on. You can feel it. You can see the crowd gathering. And I've stormed the court. I know what that feels like. It's just the energy because it's such a confined space, not a football field. You can feel the energy in the room, and it's like a release of all this good feelings. We just beat this team, and you just run out onto the court. It's release of just all the endorphins and everything, But
I'd like to, I guess I could go back a little bit on what I was thinking before this because that is a good point. And I guess deep down you have to know that all kinds of sports, especially ones with traditions, be it basketball, football, hockey, they all have traditions. And they all have something that can be, they all have something that can be deemed that's a dangerous thing. I've seen college football games in a wide open field where the fans went in there and tore an upright down. It collapsed into a crowd of people.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And that's, to me, that is deemed to me.
They do make collapsible field goal posts.
Yeah,
for some
and they're
people.
a little bit safer nowadays than they were back in the day.
But yeah, I can see that. And so, yeah, I do like that take on it.
Persuasion powers.
I do like the. I'm feeling a little more fun, and I think it's because of the munchies.
Oh, is it because of Big Daddy's
It's
munchies
the
make you
munchies.
instantly
Sugar
more
rush.
fun?
So sugar
It's
rush.
like that Snickers commercial. Eat a Snickers,
Eat a Big Daddy's. You'll be in a better mood.
I'm gonna remember
But
that.
I agree with you. Wake Forest. If you know the big game's coming, especially like you said, if you know Vegas is kind of projecting it to be a little bit closer than what most people thought.
I lost money, so I know the line because I took Duke plus 2.5.
But
That hurt. I was like, they're catching 2.5 points on whatever, dude.
Most people also would have picked Michigan over App State.
it's true.
Let me see how that.
But on that same note, real quick, just so you ramp up security, the game's ending, a couple seconds left. Does that really solve it? Honestly, just hear me out. Does that really solve 8,000, 10,000 fans trying to go to the same tiny area, do you really think security can really be like, y'all just wait a second now?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a little bit different. Like, every stadium is constructed different. Like, Wake Forest, those guys, they were on the court as soon as that.
Yeah.
At Virginia Tech, there's like a 10-foot drop from the student section to the floor. So, it kind of filters
Correct,
the
yeah.
flow a
It's
little
a
bit.
natural trickle.
But, like, you're not going to ask, 10 guys, security guards who are making $20 an hour to come be like, hold on, guys, hold on.
Wait till I say go.
I get it, but just to have a little bit more presence, like, it was so instantaneous. If you had held him up for another, we're talking about 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
They would have had time to get...
And dude would have walked off the court. But like I said, I didn't like the play because they're over here.
Yeah.
And he threw the ball inbounds
the
to
way
the
the
other
other
side of the court. Like, run it next to your bench, run the clock out, and go take 3 steps. You'll be right out of bounds.
Yeah.
That guy had to come all the way across the court when he could see that people were accumulating across the side. Like, all right, so
They were accumulating.
maybe he's a young coach. Maybe he's like, oh, crap, all right. But if he hadn't tweaked his ankle, we wouldn't be hearing about it.
Or if he wouldn't have maybe fell so.
Or if they hadn't lost to Wake Forest.
Ooh. Now there's an interesting take.
So, whatever. That's just my wallet.
Hindsight, right?
That's just my
Yeah.
wallet talking. Sorry.
Your distaste for Duke, maybe. ACC.
I have a general
rivals.
distaste for Duke,
Well,
but
don't
when I
we
put
all?
money on them, especially and they lose,
Especially.
Yeah, especially.
I feel that. Well, I think those are definitely good angles on it. I do agree. Tradition means a lot, especially in college. Like, college sports.
all that
Like
stuff
you
goes
said,
away in the pros
Yeah.
because you're
Well,
professional.
money. And it's,
That money.
Yeah.
That
a
is the
different
tradition in
culture.
the pros, is the money.
There's no court storming in the pros.
Well, and that's
Well,
that's the kind of thing you don't see court storming in the NBA. You don't see court storming in the NFL, field storming or whatever. You rush in the field. You don't see any of that. One, security is ramped up in those situations. And
There are cops on horses.
Yeah,
I've been to those Bills games.
your ass will end up in jail over that one. But
Don't take it away. I love the kid. I love
leave it.
I love it.
Do you?
And the grumpy old coaches be like, get rid of it, blah, 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 whatever.
Well, then let me ask y'all this then. Let's make this a much simpler question on this topic. After seeing what's happened, fluke accidents, not fluke accidents, whatever, do you think that this is going to cause them to take it away?
No.
No.
You don't think that this will cause the NCAA to put any kind
They
of...
would have to, take wins away from teams if it ensues for teams to enforce it.
The only thing, they have enforced fines. There are some, fines
Duke
of
will
it, but
pay
they're
it.
not gonna. Sorry, the only thing that the NCAA could do was, like she said,
Yeah.
forfeit a win or something. But there's no real penalty that they can.
Yeah. There's nothing that would.
Are you going to
keep
stop the
them-
will of a drunk 20-year-old to get on the court?
Yeah.
NCAA
How
said
many
no, sir.
thousands of 20-year-olds? Yeah. No.
Yeah, NCAA said you can't do that. No. They'd be like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Here's some
Here's what you can do with that.
Right. Well, it's going to be a touchy subject right now for a lot of coaches and Duke fans, especially. I think player safety is a big one. But
I know why they have such a disdain because we're Duke. We don't storm the court. We don't do that. We get stormed on, and we're sick of it.
bullshit. I've seen Duke storm friggin' court before.
Yeah, I mean, we're above it. We don't do that because we're top tier. We are above it. Kiss my ass. And that's why they got their panties in. But overall,
I think Britt likes Duke about as much as he likes the Kansas City Chiefs.
If you had to choose, if it was you have to root for the Dukies,
Gun to your
or
head.
you have to root for the Chiefs.
who are the Chiefs playing?
No.
It doesn't matter.
They're your
no,
team
it
now.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, they were my team for a long time.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
we
went
did
over
hear
this.
about that.
That's
But
true.
no, I'm saying the team right now. Which would hurt you less?
Duke would hurt me less.
I agree.
Duke would hurt me less.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
don't even want to hear his name. What is like? What's his name from Harry Potter?
You shall not be named.
That's him.
Oh my god.
That's him.
Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him. We know who we're talking about. PM.
Voldemort.
Voldemort. Voldemort. He's my.
I love it. I love it.
Voldemort.
All right.
Dude.
Well, I've really we've hit on some good stuff tonight. We've got a little bit of stuff. It's still super early. Like only a few games in. Spring training finally kicked off for Major League Baseball.
Let's go.
I've been excited for it. I'm like,
I got my first lineup update on Saturday. Right, it was Saturday, last Saturday. And I woke up, it was like 9:30 in the morning. I looked at my phone, and there it was. MLB gave me my first lineup of spring training. And it was like I felt renewed and refreshed. It was amazing. I was so excited.
Michael Harris came out first pitch of the game. Yard.
Clink.
My excitement is low. Can you not tell?
I just figured you were
seem
trying
so
to hold
excited.
it inside because you were just
No, I just.
bursting at the seams.
I want to be excited, but you heard the odds. You heard the odds for the Red Sox to make the team,
Forget that.
to make the World Series.
This is preseason. This is the time you have to be
Everybody's
excited.
on a level playing field.
They haven't screwed you over this season so far. You have to be
You can be
excited
excited.
now.
Like I know it's coming because it's walking in the room. It's ready to. It's there. The door's closed.
Look.
It's about. It's about to come.
As a Bills fan, I understand that. Like, self-destruct is always there. But I go into every season, feeling full of hope and renewed.
I had no hope. We did no free agents. We did nothing. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know.
They don't either, apparently.
I'm just.
But you never know because sometimes it's the seasons that you don't expect.
Surprised.
can we call our boy Uke? Can we get Uke? Whatever.
I've got him on speed dial.
On speed dial?
Yeah,
Can you phone a
Hit
friend?
Uke up right now.
Yeah, hit the button.
My phone just died.
Oh, I thought it was that blue button.
Damn, phone just died. Sorry.
Last time I heard he was like brewing beer and opened his own brewery in California. And
Why
just
not?
living the dream. Yeah, but
Season.
you know what? He's going to have a dream season. The Red Sox will not. It's okay as long as the Yankees don't do anything. I'll be good.
It's always the general
Well,
consensus for the Phillies.
We've all got something to look forward to. I know that we've got something to look forward to. Because I think weren't you talking about joining us on the venture?
You're coming on a trip?
To Baltimore?
No, to Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
Go see the
We'll go
Warriors
see
play
some
the Braves?
baseball.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I know
Yeah.
Be more like the back of my hand. I work there every day. Yeah, I know exactly where. Yes, dude, I'm a Be more
Yeah.
expert. Yeah, yeah.
Quick train ride
To
up.
be, yeah.
All of us enjoy the Amtrak. Have a good ass time.
I
Hell yeah.
love the Amtrak. It's so cool.
I ain't gonna lie,
But-
you got me turned on to the Amtrak. That was a fun trip.
And you can take it right from the stadium.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pretty
It drops you off right at Camden
right
Yards.
there. So nice. So yeah, we'll just take a little backpack. We'll be good to go.
We got this.
Dude, let's go.
We're doing it. We've got
This
the
will be what, number 6, number 5 on our stadium tour.
number 5,
So-
Washington.
So the Braves and the Orioles will be playing.
Yes.
Still gonna wear my Red Sox gear.
Wear it.
Do it.
We're the freaking you.
We wore Braves gear when we went to Colorado.
Oh yeah, we did.
Just let them know.
Even though I did buy
Like,
the
hey.
hat because they
Yeah,
were playing.
we did buy
They were playing the
Colorado
Phillies.
hats.
And that whole "the enemy of my enemy is my friend"
Right.
kind of thing was like,
And it was, I liked,
screw the
of
Phillies.
course, I liked the logo. It was cool. It had like, the Colorado emblem. But anyway,
We'll see how the Red Sox are doing. Maybe I'll just wear some regular clothes. I don't know.
I probably got a Braves jersey you could wear. I wouldn't trust you in white. I'll give you the blue.
He doesn't play for them anymore, does he?
No.
No.
He goes to the Cubs.
He doesn't look
Cubs.
good in the other color blue. Yeah, that's the blue.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He's not quite dead to us, but
If you let me wear the cream one, I'll shave a Strider mustache. I'll
you
shave a
cannot.
Strider mustache if you let me do it.
100%,
Brady said yes.
100%.
That's
What
his
size
jersey, so I guess it's
Yeah.
his call.
You shave the Strider mustache, you can wear the Strider jersey to the game. 100%.
All right, deal.
Deal.
I'm gonna need you to work on your squats.
Everybody,
You
you
just
saw
heard
it here
that.
first. SportsBites on camera. You saw the shake. There will be pictures and video of this coming later on. But yeah, I think it's, what is it, June, like 12th, 11th, 12th, 13th?
13th, I think. We'll be heading up to Baltimore. So if you are in the Baltimore area and watching,
That's if I
give us
want
a
to wear that
shout-out.
jersey. I have the opportunity to change my mind. I want to wear that one.
He's already thinking about it. He's like, damn,
Oh,
I can have it 'cause I
man.
I
love
really
my
just.
beard.
Oh, that's okay.
My
We'll see
chin,
what we
my
got.
chin is very ugly. That's why I just.
I forgot we're rolling right now.
They heard.
Well,
Probably have to get some insight from your better half as well.
I'm ready. I'm ready for actual baseball to start.
yeah.
Spring training is just like a tease. It's just like
Oh.
it's like that voice on your
Hey,
neck.
I'm
like,
back.
You're 100% right.
Keeps you into
Because
it.
spring training, to me, is worse than preseason NFL because it's like they're like, hey, you got your full lineup of season starters playing this game. You're like, hell yeah, dude. And then they're like,
Four
second,
plays
halfway
later.
through the second inning, they're like, everybody's out.
One at bat.
Yeah.
Everyone's done. You're gone. We're like, damn, dude.
They're still
But,
there. It's still
yeah,
fun to watch.
I'm pretty excited. I just love seeing it. I do want to say on.
Wow.
I'm excited for our MLB preview that we're gonna do when we get
Dude,
into it. 'Cause
yes.
they got some good snacks lined up.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I got some good
you've
snacks
been
lined up.
looking for some good snacks for us.
I have them.
Okay.
I already have the ideas. We're ready to go, dude.
Nice.
I can't like every day that goes by and I see another MLB game up.
We're
Or
gonna start.
I'm,
When are we gonna start that? Not next week, but maybe the week after.
I'm thinking the week after because I've got something
March
kind of lined up for
Madness.
next week. Hopefully it all works out. I know we've had some timing and scheduling issues with some guests, so I'm hoping that we can get it all figured out and get back on track where we'd like to be before the season really gets kicked off.
Nice.
But that being said, one last little caveat. I know I said we weren't really going to talk about this stuff on this podcast that much because it's not really the big thing. I gotta say, I watched. I didn't watch the race. I watched the highlights afterwards. I do that on a lot of tracks. I don't watch. One of the closest victories of all time in Atlanta, 3-wide photo finish. Daniel Suarez, congratulations. One of the closest runs of all time in Atlanta. It was a wild race. I don't like
This is
it.
race car.
NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Race car.
What?
This is race car you're talking about.
Yeah, NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Oh yeah, race
NASCAR.
car. Got it.
Do you not like NASCAR at all?
I don't hate it.
It's really good napping.
She
Like,
like,
I
yeah.
could do
know.
some
On-
super
on-
speedways.
I think years ago I was like I only got like 4 stations on Fox on
Correct.
Sundays was the race, so that's how I like
Race
Kevin
Dale, praise Dale.
Kevin Harvick, and Tony Stewart. But that was many moons ago.
Very
Yeah.
many, yes.
It's getting better. It had some really rough years where it was very not entertaining. It's getting better. This was a big one because, like I've said before.
Well, I'm glad y'all like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all sports.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't discriminate.
Turn left.
We're
Now
gonna
go.
go
Man,
real
when they
fast.
get to
Go
go right,
fast.
that's when it gets
All right, now
really
turn
exciting.
Dang, I'm out of gas. I need new tires.
Shake and bake.
I'll go fast. Dang, a wreck. Did I get it?
Pretty much.
Pretty
I
close.
mean, really, the best part though is like going to a race. That's an experience all in itself.
So,
Yeah.
but I lived in Delaware. There, I would drive up and down Route 1 in Delaware. Right next to it was the Dover Speedway.
Mhm.
Dude, yeah.
And they had the big rock monster guy out
Yeah.
in front.
Yeah.
And so if it were a race weekend, I'd be driving on a Thursday. There
You were
are
partying,
RVs.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
I'm like, yo, the race ain't for another 2.5 days.
it's so
Like,
much fun.
Dude,
and they're out in the I can see the RVs
The
lined up,
infield
the
and stuff,
tents.
yeah.
Yeah, no, just it's on the side of the interstate.
Oh.
Like, you got to cross the bridge of the interstate where the RV lot and the tents were set up. And they're getting cooked on like a Thursday, a Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm like, yo, you're tailgating the race is 2.5 days away.
Yeah.
All right, whatever, go.
We're ready to go.
I would toot my horn.
Yeah.
Well, I will
love
say
it.
this. With Martinsville being so close, you should go. Even just to experience the party. Like the party
I
outside
heard
the
you
race.
can bring
is
in
fun.
whatever you want to the race. Like,
Within reason.
yeah.
I mean, within a cooler.
what size cooler?
Like a soft size. I mean, like the
Big enough.
like the 12 pack, I think.
yeah.
And your partner, whoever else you go with, can also bring 12, even if they don't drink 12. There you go. See, that's what we really got married
But,
for. Yeah, it's
hell
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
First beer,
Gotta
8
check it out.
a.m. It's no experience like it.
There is literally no judgment at a friggin' NASCAR
So much
race.
fun.
It's just yeah.
And the
it's a lot of
people you
fun.
meet there, it's so diverse.
Mhm.
Like there is not a more diverse.
I won't go
crowd.
without you, Randy. I need a shepherd. I need a
Bring it
shepherd.
on, bro.
I need a shepherd.
Yeah,
Bring
we'll go.
it
Like
on.
I would like to go. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's fun.
Do I gotta wear the earphones like this?
No.
Hell no.
I wear the little in-ear ones. But
I go,
you don't have
I go
to.
raw. I don't wear no friggin' hair protection.
Nice.
Huh? What'd you say?
Nice.
We get out of here like, hey man, can I get a beer? Like what?
But
I'm gonna raw dog this NASCAR race.
Well, that being said, a lot of good takes tonight. A lot of good takes.
yeah.
We went over a lot. I know we kind of. There's just so many different. This is that time of the year. There's so many different things going on. There's a little of this, a little of that. This is upcoming. This is finishing up. This is starting to get big. There's
But
so many things.
Then there's more things on deck.
and things we didn't even talk about.
on
March Madness,
Yeah.
Hockey.
hockey, NBA.
Hey, y'all calm down. You got to keep the
All
viewers.
right, I'm just saying, but
I mean, they know what's coming up.
too
Hopefully,
much to get to in this episode. But we'll choose some future episodes with our,
Absolutely.
and we got March Madness coming up.
Yep.
Can't wait to talk about that. So
That's always exciting.
I know the Roanoke Rail Yard dogs are still doing pretty good.
let's go dogs.
Go dogs.
Yep, I'm going to the game Friday night against the Knoxville Ice Bears on Friday.
Will they travel? Do the Knoxville Ice Bears travel?
Couldn't tell you.
We may be there. I don't know for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, hey,
We may
listen,
be
Date
there.
night.
we'll be
You're
there.
hearing it first.
Holler at me if you
Yep.
are there. We'll meet up.
Yep.
Sweet.
First round's on me.
Nice.
We're definitely going now.
Sounds good. Well, more than anything, though, one thing I really want to finish up on. All of these subjects were really, really awesome subjects. You know, hitting on the combine, court storming, some of these players that are coming through, the free agency. You got spring training, you got the cup race. Everything was good. I'd like to just reiterate one time how damn good the Big Daddy's Munchies was tonight. Brent,
you have any more of that peanut
you and
butter
Rob,
over there?
you guys really crushed it tonight.
yeah. So let me put these all out here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want some more of that peanut brittle.
Here you go. That's the OG right there. We got to give our reviews, right?
Yep,
All right.
absolutely. So,
Rachel, you want to start with the peanut brittle, just the OG peanut brittle.
It's man, I don't know. This is a tough one,
It's not tough though.
but it's really not. This is a 10.
A 10. We do not hand out a lot of 10s.
This is the
are
absolute.
you for real? Like, you understand the gravity of that?
I do because you gave pretzels a
Could
10
it-
last
it
I
week.
gave him a 9.5.
Could it get
Oh.
any? Could it get any better?
Oh, it could have dipped in chocolate.
So,
But this is a pretty damn perfect snack right here.
so like a 9.7.
9.7. This is just, it's salty, it's sweet, it's crunchy, like it's got
Those were
all the
great.
textures.
Those things I will give a solid 9 to. They were very good.
So, I'm going to go with Brent. I'm solid 9 on the OG. The OG Brittle is a solid 9. And for anybody that watches Sports Bites on the regular, you know that, like, I feel like when you get to like 5, between 5 and 7, it's like, hey, you should try this. It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
From like 7 to like 8, 8.5, it's like, hey, this is really good. You should really 8.5 to like 9.5 is like, dude, if you don't
gotta
try
go get
this,
it.
like,
Right
you
now.
need to go. And a 10 is like, you should have this in your cabinet at all times.
And the packaging's super cute.
Mm-hmm.
I like the logo.
So we've got the Rainbow Crunchies, like the OG. They're Skittles. This is, like I said, it's the standard. It's the brisket. It's if you do freeze dried candy, this has got to be the one. Pass this on over to your boy.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
I
I'm
am
still
going to say,
savoring this peanut brittle.
I've had numerous kinds of freeze-dried Skittles. I've had good. I've had bad. We ordered some off of Amazon one time that were literally
terrible.
like hard as rocks. I've never had and it was kind of worrisome because I was like, man, is this going to happen on the regular? Like getting stuff like this. I feel like this is a delicate process because if you don't do them long enough, they don't puff up enough. If you do them too long, they just fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably like they keep the flavor. Those are good.
I'm going to have to give it to Rob on this one. Rob, your freeze-dried Rainbow Crunchies, these are the best that I've had. These are the best
Nice.
freeze-dried
I was gonna go 9.5.
Rainbow Crunchies.
9.5. Those are very good.
They're every bit of 9.5.
I would agree.
All right. 9.5 across the board.
Yeah.
And that says something for all you viewers out there about the overall of all this. Like Brent has said, this is the staple. This is your go-to. And if you can crush your go-to.
Yeah. Your high expectation for the rest.
Exactly.
So we did
And,
those.
and you have sought out many different of these freeze-dried Skittles. I know that I myself have stopped at quite a few different stores, locations, trying to find some for you. So he's a connoisseur.
Next, we got the Cosmic Puffs.
Yep.
I think guilt-free. I think they're really good.
I like that.
I give them an 8.5. They're very good. They're super crunchy, delicious. Still got a nice hit of fruit flavor. I like them a lot. 8.5.
These to me are not quite as consistent. There's some that have different consistencies, and it could just because of the size.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get them, they're inconsistent. But I think they're still a 9.
Wow.
9. Okay.
She's like trying to throw it out. Like, these are inconsistent. They're not. They're a 9, though.
Well, no, but I mean,
No,
like, you can kind of just tell, which is fine, but that almost makes it exciting, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're not always expecting the same.
I'm going to say the Cosmic Puffs for me.
Mm.
I don't want to score everything super high, but I have to say that
Hard not to.
they're a solid 9.
They're
They
so
are a
good.
solid 9. Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I can't deny it. That's a,
These
that's
last
a
two
9.
real quick. The sour ones,
Yep.
Sour.
very sour.
Very sour.
Very crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Still good.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Not 9. These are a 9 for me.
A 9 for you.
Yeah, because I agree with Randy. Like, when I want sour candy, I want it to be sour.
Mm.
So they get a 9 from me. Very good.
I'm opposite because I like sour. I like sour gummies, sour belt, sour worms, that kind of sour. And those were a little bit too sour for my taste, but I can see if you like that kind of sour. That being said, I still really enjoyed them. They weren't too sour. I'm going to go 7.5.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Randy?
I love sour candy. Like, if I had to pick a kind of candy that I could eat forever, it would be sour candy. I eat sour candy until I literally can't feel my tongue. Everything is just like nothingness after that. Those Sour Pink Crunchies, they got the eye twitch.
Mm-hmm. They
got
did.
the eye
They made
twitch.
you pucker.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the eye twitch, if you like sour candy, the eye twitch, to me, it's a solid 9.5.
Dude.
I loved them. I loved the Sour Pink Crunchies. I loved them.
And our last, our last one of the night is the Texas Peanut Brittle with the hint of Dr. Pepper and the chilies.
Yeah, the cayenne.
This is my 10.
That's your 10?
This is my 10.
That's your 10? Okay.
It's-
I love the balance of the spice of the Dr. Pepper,
It's
the
last one.
sweetness.
Y'all mind?
Y'all split
No,
it.
go ahead. No, I'm good.
I knew
And the kick of cayenne at the end. Like, it is very inventive. It's creative.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's so good. 10 out of 10. Delicious.
It's the heat. Excuse me, is definitely there, but it is that slow kind of burn. It is like a glow, as you alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
It's really mellow and delicate.
It's more of like a flavor journey.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is a flavor journey, certainly.
It's a flavor town.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily take it there, but that's just a
Guy Fieri,
Guy
shout out.
Fieri, yeah, exactly. Nothing against Big Daddy, just Guy Fieri. I don't know where I would rate this though. It's interesting.
I don't do hot stuff well.
Yeah, I don't really like spicy.
But I
things,
think that's why
but
it's
I
good
like
to have. I think it's why it's good to have more than one person doing these reviews. You like hot stuff. You like
do.
spicy stuff.
I do.
That earns a 10 for a guy. So if you guys like spicy candy, that right there is up your alley.
It's
and I'm
really good.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like spicy stuff that much. I loved the consistency. I loved the flavor.
Yeah.
They were, I almost want to say tender because of how easily they just fall apart.
Delicate. Delicate.
Yes.
Delicate.
I'm going I'm still going solid 8 on the Texas.
That's where I'm going to land as well.
Now-
I preferred them over the sours. But
And again, these are an 8 to me is a score that anybody who sees this, you should at least try it.
absolutely.
Everything,
You can't
everything
go
on
wrong.
this table is worthy of trying.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm going to tell you, there's a couple things on this table that are worthy of keeping in the cabinet at all times, like having them on deck.
Yes.
At all times, you should have
This. The peanut brittle.
this, and this, and this, and
All of it.
The peanut brittle is very good.
yeah, dude.
Just
And I'm
keep
like,
in-
and we haven't even talked. There are so many other things too. I know last week we tried the what were they called?
The Airheads Extreme Sour Belts?
No. The at the party when we got Big Daddy's the
we
first
got
time.
Oh, the Jolly Pups.
The fruit roll-ups.
Or the fruit roll-ups.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes.
That's still to this day, my mind is blown that even is a thing.
Go check them out on the
Go
website.
check
Freeze
them
dry,
out.
yeah.
We cannot say it enough.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you so
Rob,
much for all the.
Thank you so
hookup.
much. Your brand, your candy, everything knocks it out of the park. Thank you so much for being a part of this with us and allowing us to bring some of your deliciousness on the sport.
BigDaddyMunchies.com. Go
Can't
get them.
wait to see you grow.
BigDaddy'sMunchies.com. Check the description for the video. We'll have the link set up for you in there. And that being said, one last time, Rob, thank you again, Big Daddy's Munchies. Spectacular snacks. And that being said, I think that's a wrap just about for us.
All right.
Everybody out there, thank you so much for being a part of this tonight. Thank you for watching. Again, we always say it. We do this for you. We do this for you, the fans.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
Muchas gracias,
Yes, thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Rachel,
sir.
Brent,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for being here.
You're
this
very
evening.
welcome.
This
Glad
has
to
been a
be
lot
here.
of fun.
Appreciate
Great
it.
episode. And with that, I will say, as we head out of here, we are Sports Bites, your self-proclaimed #1 sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds.
Sports.
And thank you so much for being here with us. We love you. Have a
Have a
great
good
night.
one. See you next week.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.